A three-point shot from Andromeda. Rain-rusted orange ring of Saturn in an urban orbit over an outdoor gym.
In 1990, Paul Beatty was named the first ever Grand Poetry Slam champion of the iconic Norican Poets Cafe. But though his success as a performance poet landed him a book deal, it wasn't long before he refocused his talents on prose. Each of his 4 novels, beginning with 1996's The White Boy Shuffle, has garnered even more critical and popular acclaim. Beatty's characters expose the uncomfortable, unspoken, and often unacknowledged truths about race in America using language that pulls no punches. In Beatty's second novel, Tough, the character Winston puts it like this: language was an extension of his soul, and if his speech was wrong, then his thoughts were wrong. Paul Beatty is one of the freshest, most innovative and original novelists writing in the English language today. His provocative storytelling driven by unfettered comedic satire that takes no prisoners.
I start by satirizing myself, my personality, the things I think about, things I care about. I'm not trying to be mean, I don't think. I just like when I feel, and for good, sad, bad. I like conflicting emotions, because I think life is a lot like that, but we're so used to things either being black or white, happy or sad, optimistic or, whatever, dystopic or something, and so I think all these things are happening at once, and it's beyond me being male or me being black or anything. It's just there's so much going on, and so for me, I just try to, make this big panorama manageable in a weird way, make it funny, make it interesting, hopefully smart, hopefully thought-provoking, all these things.
And was it always your intention, were you always shooting for an absolutely, because you have a unique voices, but was that always like nothing less than that is going to do?
Yeah. I mean, I think, I didn't know what I was doing, but when I started writing poetry, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know the term voice necessarily and like what that meant. But I had an idea. I couldn't or can't articulate it now of like what I wanted my stuff to read like, I just wanted all these disparate voices in my head to kind of come together and to add like an element of humor or satire, whatever, all kind of things, perspective. Because I found so much writing so narrow. Yeah, and for me, I don't know. Yeah, but there was something in my head that I was striving for, even though I didn't know what it was. And then slowly, step by step, I was like, oh, this is close, And, then that whatever that turmoil, this, miasma that's in my head, it changes, as I get older.
Are you naturally a funny guy?
You have to get to know me a little bit. I don't consider myself one of those on kind of people. But I think I remember in 11th grade Spanish, I had a weird little Spanish class, and they gave out awards at the end of the class, and I got like the guy who's really funny but nobody knows it, because I would just kind of whisper my jokes in the corner, so like there was like these 6 people in this little corner that I was always cracking up. But I'm not the person to stand up and just very, very rarely.
You have to save that for the page?
I'm just a little shy, I think, and it's just not my personality, I don't think.
Do you make yourself laugh?
Every now and then. I'm really trying to please myself and, to engage myself and be engaged. And then trust if I'm engaged, other people will be engaged. And trust if I know that this is out there, that I'm not by myself on this island. And, some people might not agree with me, but might see what I'm trying to say.
I say this without wishing to be sycophantic. I think you're really a great writer.
Thank you, man.
How do you think you are?
I try not to think about it. I think I work hard, and I think my stuff is challenging. I think it's smart and funny, does a lot of things, and it's makes people uncomfortable in a weird way, even, and yeah, I try. I mean, I think the thing that I think is that no one writes like me.
No.
And so great, whatever, as you want to put. For me, it's really important that no one writes like me.
The myth is that the little rascals, like a production of Macbeth, are cursed, that they all died horribly premature death. Gang member, Alfalfa, age 42, cause of death, shot 30 times in the face, once for each freckle in an argument over money.
How do white audiences respond to this? Because some of this is so down on black people. Some of your writing is so down on black people that you're allowed to do it, and black people are allowed to enjoy the joke. But is it a guilty pleasure for white people to laugh along?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. It depends. So I think people bring all kinds of things about where you are with your own comfort race, American culture, class, whatever. You know, I don't think like people have like a certain purview that they're limited to. Like they can only write about this. I think anybody can write about anything. I mean, white people have been writing about everybody for
it's the reading.
I don't care. You know, I'm not like writing to a race or writing against anything. I'm writing to people who have enough, I don't want to say bravery or enough, but enough energy, enough open-mindedness. There's a weird thing, you know, about like what you're going to allow yourself to do, what you're going to allow yourself to think. And I just love things that just sit on your chest and make you laugh when you're not supposed to laugh. You know, it's when I feel I'm not honest necessarily, but I'm just in the moment. You know, I'm just really here in the here and now, you know.
This is great storytelling. Is it meant to change the world?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean...
Why not?
Yeah, I couldn't write like that. You know, I'm just trying to tell my stories, and I'm trying to write about things that are important to me, even though I'm like hopefully turning them inside out and tearing them apart. But I don't pander, you know? So that's like a thing, like I think I've made a decision at some level. It's just, I'm not comfortable doing it, but I don't pander. So I remember doing like this, some panel, some book festival, I think in Brooklyn. And the woman next to me said, yeah, you know, I write to bring the reader in. I want everyone to be together, da-da-da-da. And I went, oh gosh, you know, I kind of do this opposite thing. It's like I push everybody away with things that you might find shocking or the language or, you know, the subject matter. You know, I'm like, man, I push everybody away. Then I challenge you, I think, to step forward a little bit. But you know, I hope it's making people think, you know. That's something I really try to do is, you know, I'm trying to make myself think and not necessarily come up with an answer or a solution or anything, but just think.
Though Paul Beatty aims to provoke thought, he's comfortable with the notion that once his ideas are in someone else's head, they're beyond his control.
I'm like a little bit of a NASCAR fan. So when, you know, these guys are about to hit the wall, you know, they're in the crash and they're trying to take control. But then there's a point where they take their hands off the wheel, right? Because if they keep their hands on the wheel and hits the wall, they're going to break their wrists. And so I just love that thing of, whoa, it's out of my hands.